All right, you're good.
Okay.
Okay. Call this meeting of the Castine Selectboard in order at 4:02 p.m. And we have a quorum, actually, yeah, we have a quorum, so we're gonna start with discussions regarding the revised general assistance ordinance. Oh, the town manager just walked out, but every year. Every year the state makes revisions to the general assistance ordinance. Every year between September and September, and they're usually small, but they have made them again. Derek, do you have any?
Most of it is that they kind of rewrote it because it's always been revised and revised, so they removed some MRSA language and changed it to MRS. And then otherwise, it's about town responsibilities when putting people up in hotels. They've clarified those under the law. Which is any time the town office is open, not on any just set hours. Is the basis. I mean, I can go through all of them, but that's a summary.
So those are the biggest
Yep.
ones. Does anybody have questions? Does anybody from the public have any questions regarding general assistance?
Well, I do,
Ooh, okay,
this is
thank you.
a state mandated ordinance, right? The
Yes.
town can't say no to this.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, we're ready.
Question, sorry. How much general assistance does Castine disperse?
Since I've been here, $0.
We don't have very many people come to the town for general assistance, and a lot of. Since I've been here, sometimes when people come for general assistance, they don't quite make the cutoff. So they might get sent to the interfaith fuel fund instead, but, we do figure out a way to help them somehow.
Yeah, I've had a few inquiries over the last year and a half or so, but I think only one formal application during that time.
But it's usually maybe one or two.
Yeah.
It's not. Thank you. All right, so now we will move into the select board meeting. And we will begin with additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda. We have few additions to old business. July 4th, committee and flags. We have other additions under new business. We will be talking about a proclamation. We will be talking about wildfire reimbursement monies. We will be talking about solar. Those are my additions, yes.
And when we get to the OPM, we're gonna table that till next week.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so warrants and payments. We have a general fund warrant in the amount of $59,067.93. Do I have a motion?
So,
A second, thank you. And this warrant covers 43 bills and 33 vendors and some of the things that snow plowing, we always start paying ahead for snow plowing. New carpet in the children's room at the library. Do you have a situation where there's a grant that came through Castine, so we get charged $2,100 every so often to pay Hancock County Planning Commission for their work on this grant, but the state reimburses us for that, just so everybody knows. And Pine Tree Waste, those were the bigger ones. So, is there any other discussion? All in favor? Thank you, opposed? Good. All right. And we have a water department warrant of $7,669.31. So I have a motion.
so
Second, is there any discussion? All in favor? Thank you, opposed? All right. And we have one set of minutes from Monday, October 6th. And I will make a motion that we accept those minutes. Second, okay, all in favor? Thank you. Okay, business, we have two pieces of old business. Last time we were here, the rec committee talked to select board about creating a July 4th committee. Because the rec committee has come to a point where they have a lot going on and they're trying to plan many new things. And they've also found that many of the same people do 4th of July every year, no matter what. And so they were trying to get some new people involved and some new ideas going on. So the select board met last week for a work session and we discussed it. And we're going to be trying to come up with language for that committee. And then at some point, we will have an actual vote to decide whether we'll create it. The other thing that they talked about were the flags. And we've had some concern about the flags because they've been up since Memorial Day. And there are some people who are concerned about that. So we had talked with the rec committee earlier in the summer, and the rec committee did it because they saw it as a very patriotic thing to do. And we have other people in town who see it as the opposite of that. So we came up with just a couple of ideas that we shared back with the rec committee. We sent this item back to them and asked them to talk about it and see what they think they might want to do for next year. But I think we should, or I will make a motion that we allow them to keep the flags up until Veterans Day this year. And then they can talk to us again about it next year. So I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
I think that was their original intent and hope was to keep the flags up, even though some of them needed to have some maintenance or be taken down because they've gotten caught, on the television. But I think if we can honor their original intent and allow them time to figure out how they want to move forward.
Great. Yeah. All right, all in favor? Okay, thank you. All right, now we are ready to move to new business, and at the beginning of new business, we have a proclamation.
Okay. Whereas Spirit of American Foundation cherishes municipal officials' health with its program and created Municipal Officials Appreciation Month in 2025, dedicated to nationally to firefighters to express gratitude. But whereas municipal officials, including our town clerk, town finance manager, town manager, and all of our employees personally sacrifice to serve this town and deserve more public recognition and respect than they generally receive. Whereas firefighters risk their lives while battling blazes and evacuating folks from burning buildings, whereas firefighters faithfully respond 24/7 to a variety of emergencies and provide medical care, whereas firefighters spend many hours each year in training for how to react to situations they could encounter, whereas Castine much appreciates the services by its firefighters and other municipal officials. Now therefore be it proclaimed that Castine, Maine designates October 2025 as Castine Municipal Officials Appreciation Month and urges our citizens to show gratitude to the municipal officials and especially to firefighters for all they do to make our community better.
Thank you so much. And
that also includes our selectors.
Oh, thank you. All right, thank you so much. All right. So we need to approve and sign the November 4th, 2025 election warrants. And the warrant states, greetings, in the name of the state of Maine, you are hereby requested to notify and warn the inhabitants of the town of Castine in said county, Hancock County in Maine, qualified by law to vote in town affairs to meet at Emerson Hall in said town on Tuesday, the 4th day of November, AD 2025 at 8 a.m. to act on the following articles to wit. Article 1, to choose a moderator to act at said meeting. Article 2, to choose by secret ballot the following officers. 1 select person, assessor, overseer of the board for a 3-year term. 1 member of the school committee for a 3-year term, and one member of the Witherly Memorial Library Board of Trustees for a 5-year term. The polls under Articles open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in Emerson Hall. All persons are hereby given notice that the registrar of voters will be available on Tuesday, November 4, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the purpose of receiving names and correcting lists of voters in the town. This is dated on this day, the 20th of October. So I will make a motion that we approve this one.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Great. Thank you so much. And now is to approve the updated general assistance ordinance and indices. Do I have a motion? Second, thank you. Is there any further discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Great. Thank you. All right, number 3, I'm so glad to see that Chief Stearns is here. Is wildfire reimbursements. So Randy, would you like to speak to this, or would you rather?
Sure, I tell everybody, we, as you guys, August 6th, 7th, and 8th, we had a major forest fire on the square Castine. Which involved a lot of people, a lot of pieces of equipment. These different reimbursement is for the apparatus and trucks from 14 to 15 different towns and the 92 people that worked in Castine to put out that fire. So we're very lucky. And with everybody's help, it all worked. The first day was all mutual aid. Meaning that we have a mutual aid agreement with all these surrounding towns. If I get in trouble, I can call on them and they'll come assist. We did not pay for that. We are paying for the 7th and 8th for the equipment and the manpower. And the total is $31,383.36. So. And we're looking for in the future, just to add on, you open the door. We have to protect rural woods. So I'm gonna come back later on in the year and look for help from the town to obtain certain pieces of equipment so we can better respond to forest fires within rural wood thing. So more to come.
Thank you so much.
I just want to add that, I saw the damage after the fire, and, we are so lucky that the community came together, the extended peninsula came together, because this fire could have been devastating. If the wind had gone the wrong way, or, if anything else could have gone wrong, it could have affected, a huge swath of this community. And so, it's really remarkable that it's this little money. I mean, it sounds like 31,000 is a lot of money, but it's remarkable it's so little, because it was just shocking how much devastation there was.
The response from the firefighters and the other people who just came to help was incredible. It was really nice.
That's great. Well, it's every community in Hancock County. That's fantastic. Thank you. All right. So, do you want to make or no? I will make a motion that we take $31,309.76 out of our contingency fund to pay the firefighters and for the equipment from this wildfire.
Seconded.
All in favor? Thank you, Randy and Joe. Okay, next is approval of the annual 1.5% water rate increase.
And can I back up just back to Randy? I think Randy, you've given us
The newest one,
There was a little change.
There was just
There
a
was a little
slight
change,
calculation
yeah.
there, so now I'm.
Just so you guys know, there was a slight.
The one that we moved is.
Is
the
a
one that
little
came
bit,
out.
is a little bit different because, the rate
was.
Randy and Joe were both aware of that, we had
Yeah.
a conversation with them.
Yeah, just want everybody to understand. Okay, good, sorry, thank you for the clarifying.
All right. So in the fall of 2023, the Public Utilities Commission made way for the water departments and districts to increase water rates by 1.5% annually rather than having to file full rate cases. Part of the reason for allowing this is that in the past, water districts and departments sometimes waited years between rate increases, as filing rate cases is expensive, and that turned into huge rate increases, percentage of rate increases for people. Our last full rate case increase in 2017 should have had an increase of 20%. But the board opted to use water surplus and a 1% rate increase instead. The utility board and select board talked at that time about filing rate increases more often at lower percentages. The fall of 2023, the Public Utilities Commission opted for a 1.5% annual rate increase, was a good fit for Castine, so the boards agreed to do it. So the select board is asked to approve this year's 1.5% increase, and after doing so, Karen will send a required notice to all water customers, and the rates will be effective with the October to December 25 billing that goes out. All right? Do I have a motion?
So,
Have a second?
Second,
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Karen. All right, and next is to approve our fire station owner's project manager. However, we have not quite finished going through things with our lawyers. And we want to table that, or I'll make a motion that we table that until the next meeting.
okay.
Is there a second? All in favor? Thank you.
Which will probably be part of that work session or whatever. We'll have a little meeting for that next week. Yes,
Yes,
got it.
yeah, we'll have a
Yeah, I should have it by then.
terrific. And then also we added solar. And I will make a motion that we table the current solar project at this time. The numbers weren't working. We were looking at a solar project down on the water treatment plant. And the numbers they just weren't coming out at this time. We weren't going to really participate in anything to put solar on there right now, so we're gonna look at another plan. So I'll make a motion that we table it. Is there a second? Second, all in favor? All right, the town manager's report.
Let's see, try to keep it brief. Salt and sand is back in the shed as of noon today. Historic lights, I did send a description to them. I've still not heard back when they'll put those, rest of those outlets on lights. Should be ready though for when it's time to put up the, holiday lights around them. PFAS study results of the retest came in. You have a copy of them. They're pretty much similar as the last results. So basically what CV and Mahar have said that with that they expect, I just realized for some reason I didn't get you page 2. I don't know why it's not on there, but they say basically they believe it's from a source upland of monitoring well number 3. Just as they originally had suspected. So that's really all I got on that one. Now that I'm looking at the rest of this here, it was still the P4 that they were searching for. And I have a meeting tomorrow to discuss with them that next step of interviewing some people in town. So if there are people in the audience or around town that have some information about that, please call the town office and let me know so that they can actually interview them for that part of the study. Anything else? You got questions? No? Okay, good. Let's see. Traffic calming, I continue to monitor speeds. Right now I'm on Battle Ave. It will be moving around. I will be putting it on the Shore Road and Castine Road eventually. trying to get some data on our local in-town roads right now. I have little doubt that cars speeding out on these other state roads for sure, especially after the pavement. If anything, this will, once we get the sign out there, it will kind of track roughly the hours, if you will, that where people are speeding the most, and perhaps we could get maybe some targeted enforcement. That's ultimately the goal that we are shooting for, besides doing any traffic calming measures. Senior tax relief program, we discussed that. I'll be discussing with the assessor a little bit, and also finding out what some towns that have done something like this, what that budget looks like, so we're ready for budget season, town meeting season, for you to decide whether or not that's something you'd like to do or not. Personnel policy, as you know, we took a quick look at that during the work session, and we're gonna review a few sections of that over the next few work sessions until we fine tune it into what we believe works for the town of Castine. Let's see, Perkins Street, the MBRC, Northern Border Regional Commission grant, which will probably be the last time any applications are taken for that, was submitted last week, and so that's in. We'll wait, find out who will get that. Catch basin cleaning was in fact done a few weeks ago. 12 by 20 shed, Castine Historic Preservation did give approval for that shed to go back for the sidewalk equipment, but also it can be used for other equipment during the non-winter season. Problem is that we're now gonna change the color, not because it was required, but the other shed that we originally had voted on, of course, is no longer there. Somebody bought it during the time that we were getting this reviewed. That in fact, since it was something that wasn't ordered to be built, came with a 5% discount and no longer carries that. So I need you to approve, instead of $7,988.70 for the project, $8,361 for that project. Which is still, I think, roughly 17, no, what do we have, 12,000 still left in there? So it's much more than that. It's 3,700 less than we had bought for that project total for the machinery and everything. So you mentioned tomorrow the Harbor Committee will be meeting at 5:30. GI will be there. I've already had a discussion with them about some of the proposed changes that we'll be looking for to make it easier to read that report, as well as address some of the concerns of how it was worded in some of the areas. Let's see, Housing Opportunity Program grant. The RFP has been out for the consultant, and the proposals are due on Halloween. And then we'll probably be reviewing that in the next couple of weeks to award that work, depending on what happens with those. We may have to fine tune some, we don't know. We know that we were asking to do a lot of things as part of that RFP, and maybe we'll get lucky and the firms will say, yeah, they can do it for the money. Sidewalk grinding, I'm still looking at places for that, and hoping to do some grinding before snow flies. And that's really all I have, besides the other ones to read at your leisure. So any questions?
Thank you there.
Yep, you're welcome.
Does anybody have questions for the town manager?
What's sidewalk grinding?
Sidewalk grinding is, we've had a few places where the edges of where the two pieces of concrete meet have come up. So the idea is similar to what I did in Bucksport many years ago, is we'll take a grinder and grind those down so people aren't catching their feet or their toes on them. We've had a few people trip on some of those spots.
Was the PFAS testing on the Mount Avenue site higher or lower?
Shoot, hold on a second here, Josh, let me get that. I just wanted the right number on it, because I noticed there's a black mark on it. I want to give you the exact numbers. Where is it?
I have a sheet right there.
Can you find the actual number, though? I found it. And that's why I was gonna read that, but then it's It was 45, and this time it's 60.2. So it actually went up. CPT, just so you know.
Thank you.
That's a significant jump.
Yeah,
60.
yeah.
Not going away.
No, it's not getting less.
Okay.
And within 400 feet of our drinking water pond this week.
Yeah. All right, so I will move that we approve $8,361 for the 12 by 20 shed. Behind there, so. Is there no discussion? All good with me? Thank you. All right, that's all you needed, right?
Yep.
Thank you, Josh. Okay,
Question back here.
we wait till I get to questions,
Sure. I thought we were.
or are you still doing the town
Yeah.
manager? Okay, yes, go ahead.
I'm just wondering, I'm not a scientist or a water expert by any means, but the difference between 40 and 60 to me sounds pretty significant. And you just said 10 minutes earlier that there was no significant difference between the two testings.
No, I actually said that they still found it in the water, that it didn't go away is what I was saying. So that was what we were testing to see if there had been some contamination of like in the drilling equipment, a human error or something like that. So that's why we retested it to make sure that wasn't the case.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, you know,
So now we'll work with them and find out what we need to do, if anything. Yes,
Yeah, I have a question. Do you have any traffic calming results for Court Street?
we have not done Court Street yet. Right, yeah, if you mean like with the speed trailer
Yeah.
itself, no, we haven't had it out on Court Street yet.
It's a busy street.
Yep, I'm gonna add that to the list, so you might be coming soon to a,
Yeah, right there, right there where the pump, the hill comes and
yeah,
fly over that and all the kids ride their bicycles. That's
okay,
that's it.
great, thank you.
All right. Is there any other business that the select board has to bring? All right. Okay. Next are communications. We have 3 communications. First is a request for sidewalk snow plowing on Perkins Street at Our Lady of Holy Hope Church. And several parishioners at the church have asked that we clear the sidewalk along Perkins Street, particularly the section fronting Our Lady of Holy Hope. Because many parishioners and residents who attend services are seniors, and maintaining a clear and safe sidewalk would help prevent slips, falls, and other injuries during the winter months. Okay. We had originally said we would try from the school and on Court Street, but
My concern is I think we need to see how we do on those before we expand outside of that area.
I don't have an objection to the request. I think it
Right.
would be a good use of our sidewalk equipment, especially because it was voted on at town meeting, by taxpayers.
Yeah.
I would defer there to Derek, at least in this moment, in terms of, can Public Works do that? Or do we try it
we can,
and see if we have,
we can see how it goes, and if Public Works has time, maybe they can
Right,
add that to their list.
right. I just don't wanna commit, say, yes, we can, when we haven't even figured out what we're dealing with yet.
But I'm really glad that the church decided to ask. That's great.
Letter read verbatim, please.
The entire thing?
Yes, please.
Dear members of the select board, representing active Castine parishioners, we are writing to respectfully request that the town include the sidewalk in front of Our Lady of Holy Hope Catholic Church on Perkins Street in the regular route of the newly acquired sidewalk snow plowing machine. At the recent town meeting, the board clearly stated that the purpose of purchasing the sidewalk snowplow was to assist seniors and elderly residents in safely accessing our businesses and public facilities throughout town. It was noted that this equipment was not intended to serve solely the properties on Lower Main Street and Court Street, but rather to enhance walkability and safety across the broader community. including the sidewalk along Perkins, particularly the section fronting Our Lady of Holy Hope, would directly support that goal. Many parishioners and residents who attend services or events at the church are seniors, and maintaining a clear, safe sidewalk would help prevent slips and falls and other injuries during the winter months. Ensuring accessibility in this area would be consistent with the intent expressed by the board and the community during the meeting, and the new equipment be used for the benefit of all residents, particularly those with mobility and accessibility concerns. We appreciate the board's continued commitment to keeping Castine's walkways safe and accessible for everyone, and we respectfully request that this section of Perkins be included in the snow removal plan for the upcoming and future seasons. Thank you for your attention to this service to this community. And so we will hopefully be able to add it this year, but let's see how the first snowstorm goes and how we do with what we have, and then we'll see what we can do at this moment. I would say add it, but I would like to add it.
I mean, I want to defer to Derek,
Yeah.
but I think I would like to add it if we can. I mean,
Derek?
Derek,
It's up to you, I just, like I said, we need to see how this goes on,
The one
like
thing- the
this
one-
area here and everything else, and with,
the one thing I will say,
Stuff like that.
at my driveway is right there, we're only talking about maybe 15 feet, there's not a lot of sidewalk there, so we're not talking a huge amount of space.
And it's primarily for Saturday mass, correct?
Yes, it's 2 hours.
So it would be, if we had a snowstorm that happened,
I'm just gonna warn you. So it's this section now, next week we get another letter about pretty soon.
the whole town.
And then we're not able to keep up with any of it, so that's what I wanna just make sure of, where this is something we're doing for the first time. And I don't wanna bite off more than we can chew, and then
But if we make
we
every
made a
reasonable
promise that we can't
Yeah.
keep.
Okay, I like that. We'll make
effort, every
every
reasonable
reasonable
effort.
Right,
to get it done.
that's fair enough.
Thank you. Thank you, nicely said. All right. We also have a letter from the rec committee. Inviting the select board members to serve as judges for the Halloween costume and pumpkin carving contest. They say that they appreciated our participation last year and would love to have us join again this year. So judging for both events will take place at Emerson Hall on Friday, October 31st at 6 p.m. Just so you all know. So are we in?
Right.
We're in. All right, we're in.
What else are you doing on that?
You're not skeletons all. I know. I love it, but that's a lot of stress.
To bring your skeletons in.
Okay. And finally, we have something about CMP is planning a power outage service during a main service tie-in. And according to CMP, this outage will be covered. This has been great. The outage is currently planned for Tuesday, tomorrow, with a rain date of Wednesday. So just in case you lose your power, CMP is turning it on and off for a couple of things, but it will come back. All right. Thank you. And now it's time to acknowledge the members of the public, and I would like to remind everybody that we want to hear what you have to say, but we may not be able to deal with it today. We may not be able to make a decision today, but so does anybody have any questions, concerns, or comments? Yes.
Now that we're talking about the Catholic Church, we really need also in front of the Catholic Church is a light. You have very, very dark at night
A street light?
and a street light. And I asked for that quite a few years ago, but I was told that the church would have to pay for the installation and for the power being used.
We can talk about that. Thank you. Josh?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions about the RFP that was sent out for the fire station owners representative.
Sure.
First is, who wrote this?
I did, along with some other proposals that were there. Why?
Well, so for a number of years, going back to 2021, we've been talking about the fire station and where it's gonna go, and that we need to get all the information we can. Talk to all the experts that we can, and then make a decision. So just to review, we hired Port City Architecture to do phase 1 study, which showed the fire station. We hired Port City Architecture to do phase 2. And they chose between 3 different sites, and they chose the Battle Avenue site. They thought that was the best one. We hired Sevi and Maher to test the soil at the current fire station at 4th Street. We hired Sevi and Maher to do the hydrological test at the Battle Avenue site, and that during that testing, they found that there was PFAS in one of the wells at 20 times the rate allowed in drinking water. And then we voted this June to spend another $15,000 for them to do testing to find out where that might be coming from. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do the testing they wanted to do, and that's a long story. But my point is that all these years we've been waiting. Oh, we have all our information, and then we're gonna make a decision. So I was quite surprised when I read this RFP that the site where the fire station will be built is on Battle Avenue. Did I miss something? So my questions are, when was the decision made? Put it on Battle Avenue. By whom was it made? How was that decision made?
Josh, the decision hasn't been made. We want to have the owner's project manager hire an architect so that we have drawings, so that if it were to go on Battle Avenue, everybody can see exactly what it's gonna look like when it's there, and at that point.
Well, not exactly true, because they're gonna have to start doing some engineering on the site. So one of the first things the OPM will be doing will be discussing, okay, where are we gonna put this thing, right?
And then we will have to have a town vote,
No,
no?
I think the board, you already bought land for it.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's why we are investigating the PFAS, as I understand it. So it's one of the first things that will be discussed will be, okay, where are we going to design this fire station to go?
Yeah, that was my concern, because if down the line, like say 10 years down the line. If we get, some diesel contamination into the water, and somebody wants to bring a class action suit for whoever decided to put a fire station on the source water protection zone next to our drinking water reservoirs, who are they gonna sue? So you guys need to put your figurative neck and legal necks on the line by voting for that, if that's what you wanna do.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Debbie?
2 things. First, I have a question. Has there been any discussion about keeping, either opening it late or keeping the transfer station late 1 day a week to accommodate people that work?
Derek and I did have a conversation about that, and what did we?
Well, there's no lighting out there, number one, for that purpose. Number two, that's why we have weekend hours, is to try to accommodate people on different days. And so, I mean, that's what I've come up with so far, why we don't have it open in the evening. In the summer, that makes more sense than in the winter time, when it is going to be lighter later. Right now, it gets dark at 4:30, soon to be whatever darker, and
So maybe we should do it this summer.
that's a potential thing that we could discuss.
Well, I just think that's something that the town needs to consider, because some people work from 8 AM until 4 or 5 PM. And the only day they can do it is on a Saturday, which is open from 8 until noon. That's 1 day that somebody can do it, other than the day that they put their trash out.
Hmm.
And if people work 5 days a week and they have weekends where they have to do stuff, that's leaving people that are working at a disadvantage for having access to the dump. I mean, this is something that can be discussed, but I think that needs to be considered. I realize we're not a big community, but our neighboring communities, their transfer stations are open to more conducive hours for a variety of people. 8 to 1 on a weekday, and then 8 to noon on the weekend.
Same Friday. it's not doing it. Okay,
So that was my first question. My
Thank you.
second is. And I don't know if this is the right forum or if coming to a work session would be better, but I would like the board to consider. Whether it's a code or whatever it is for requiring people to maintain their yards, particularly if they butt up against other people's properties. Because it's hard that if someone is maintaining their yard, but if the property is split in such a way, the other person has weeds that are, 5 feet tall, literally. And I know there's also some properties in town where this is an ongoing issue, so I'm just wondering if that's something the board could talk about or consider.
it's definitely something we can talk about at our next work session. I would imagine that would be an ordinance,
If it's even legal, I don't even know if it is.
but we can check into it and
No, that's,
find out. Thank you. Anybody else?
Roberta, when you were talking about solar down at the water,
Treatment,
whatever, the water place on Spring Street.
yeah.
Sewer
Sewer plant.
Right.
Okay, you said that, it didn't make sense financially. Would it have been more costly? Because not only is it a financial consideration
It's a
to use solar.
carbon consideration.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
so.
Yeah,
I
So-
don't think-
so we're tabling it. We're not totally giving up on it, but we're
Right.
tabling it. We're also waiting on the state
Yeah.
to see, what are they called?
About new metering rules
Yeah.
that will be coming out.
Because my dream, many of you know, is still to have something out at the transfer station, something larger that people can buy into. But we don't know what where the state's coming down on the net metering rules right now. So we're just tabling it. We're not giving up on it. And if that's the way we have to do it, and we have to do solar at every different little place in town, then we'll give it a try. We'll see what the voters wanna do, but we'll give it a try.
So the other answer though to that is, I believe the roof where this was gonna go would only provide about 35% of the power. And where that's a medium sized rate or whatever, we only have half of the rate, the power rate, not the full rate like we would have on the landfill particular project. So I think it was something like 12 years before it started showing a payback, but that was while also having a down payment of 60,000, and the sewer doesn't have 60,000 to do that unless we were to go up on rates. And in order to race to December to try to do that, it's almost impossible. So kind of decided after we went over the numbers of work, so maybe we slow down, find out what the new net metering rules are. Cause I did place that to the board as a consideration. It will reduce our carbon footprint by X amount, but the payback and the money just doesn't work right now. In order to rush it, so it's better to probably wait.
Unfortunately. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Hope.
The only thing, my comment about solar, the reason that I chose not to do it on my new home is that I'm very concerned about what happens to the solar panel when after 15, 20 years and its usage is significantly diminished. Who is responsible for the disposal of that apparatus and how is it being disposed? I know they're very difficult to break down for recycling right now. The latest technology doesn't offer that. And that was the question that I posed to the solar guy. And he said, his answer to me was, there was no answer. And I said, well, I'd like to solve that piece of the puzzle before I become responsible for this large thing sitting on my roof.
Great point. And it's something that we need to look into as well. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
So Roberta, I didn't get a feeling from the select board about putting a light in front of the Catholic Church. Because at night, especially this time of year, there's a lot of senior citizens, including myself, you can't see.
Yes, we will talk about it at work session on Monday, next
Okay.
Monday. And
And-
we'll get back with you.
And one other thing, Roberta, maybe You know, when we designed the story walk on the cemetery lot. Of course,
On the cemetery plot, yes.
the field from the golf course be used there.
Fill from the golf course, a recent fill from the golf course,
Well,
or ever?
Yeah, that's what we've been told, but
Yeah, we've been told that,
potential.
so what?
that potentially there was fill from the golf course put on that
You know
site.
how dangerous that is, seriously. You're gonna have kids walking around up there,
Well.
I mean, come on, you got a golf course,
I think
that
so,
the
but
sand was never, one of you, somebody's gotta test soil on that golf course. It's immoral to not do that, because if that fill is spread around the state, you got a problem. I think it's a legal problem, but more a moral problem.
thank you.
No, you just lied by it, think. It's really a problem.
I-
And no one talks about it. You won't find it in the paper either.
Okay. Okay,
But I won't stop on it.
I know. Anybody else? Oh, Liz.
As a resident who is gently moving south for a bit, how do I, what's the best way for me to hook into town meetings? I mean, select board meetings and.
YouTube channel,
And, so it's always on YouTube?
yes, every single.
Okay, every single,
Every single
planning board meeting, every single,
Yeah,
Well,
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 it depends.
Our meeting,
your meeting.
work session and select board meetings.
the only thing that
Nice.
won't, the only meeting that won't, if we have an executive session, that of course is not, but other than that, all of our meetings are public.
So how about like the hospital meeting coming up? And I know that's not a town meeting, but I think that will be, will that be on YouTube as well?
Derek, are we?
We only deal with ones that we're attached to, that we control.
But they're offering a Zoom with him?
That'll be available on Zoom. If you go to the Castine Community Health website,
Uh-huh.
there's a link right there for the in-home meeting.
Okay.
So then,
And
then the question is, how will I know these meetings are occurring?
Look at the top calendar.
Does the town calendar connect to a Google Calendar as well?
So if you go to the town website, you go
Oh, I
to the
actually
town,
one day.
It's a Google Calendar.
It is?
Yeah.
So I could just.
Yeah.
Have access to that calendar on my calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit hard sometimes
Yeah.
to know, like last week it was confusing and this week it was a little confusing and,
Last week was confusing.
okay. But,
Last week was confusing.
yeah,
And
I just said somewhere along the way, there was an offer to receive meeting notices by text.
Yeah.
Like a day or two before, which I do, and that helps keep me.
yes, yeah, and do you do that, Liz? Do you have?
yes, but we don't always get it. I mean, I'm not trying to say that that's,
Okay,
yeah, we don't always get them.
okay.
Today we didn't get them.
And eventually we'll have new,
This afternoon.
and eventually, I think on the new website, there's a possibility, I think of e-alerts too, that people can sign up and like, so when a notice or gender's created or whatever, I believe that will be released, but we gotta confirm that. I know that's one of the options that is sitting out there as duplicate, but I will continue to try, Liz, just so you know, to try to do all the other meetings. The problem is when there's two different meetings going on, I'm trying to be in two places at once, it makes it a little difficult.
Well, like our housing, ad hoc housing is gonna
Yeah.
be soon, and I don't know what else, but there are a lot of.
Right,
Yeah, we have planned.
right, you got harbor committee, planning, Castine Historic Preservation.
Is Harbor Committee being on YouTube?
It usually is unless it conflicts with the planning board meeting.
We'll
And sometimes even then I'm able to do it, depends if I need to be in two places at once.
work on that, Debbie.
When is if somebody knows, whether you or somebody in the audience, when that hospital meeting is again?
This coming next Monday at 7:00 upstairs.
Thank you.
Huh,
Just to follow up on the solar panels and so forth, there's been a lot of research that's been coming out recently. And the problem is, and I think that was her concern,
is the fact that if we put something up in the transfer station and it ages out 10, 15 years, it's gonna be the town's responsibility to get rid of the panels. And this has been a concern throughout the country now. Some of them that they deteriorated already and they don't know how to get rid of them. And it's become the responsibility of the community. So that's something that we should be concerned about.
I don't think it's great fun. Definitely. All right, oh, that's
Just one more thing.
just one.
I don't wanna hop on it too much. If indeed that soil is contaminated on that site when you refer to, I think there should be a warning there for parents. To let them know that that soil is possibly contaminated before they bring their children walking around.
Okay, well, we'll look in and see if we can figure out if any bill was dumped there. And see if we can make sure of that.
Eric said, what, it was out there. Did you say that there?
We were told that potentially that there was some golf course soil put on there one time during one of the
Right,
construction or projects from the golf
and we
course.
know that soil was, that soil from the golf course was also put at the transfer station.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't here then, but that's what I've heard.
Moving around.
Okay.
Who knows what the contractor was going with it.
Right, okay, anybody else? All right, thank you all very much. Gave us a lot to think about and work on. All right, select board comments. I would like everybody to know that, the town of Castine is involved in a wildfire study, a wildfire grant study. And there's a public survey that we're going to be putting on our town website about what you're supposed to do if there's a wildfire, and do you know what to do if there's a wildfire? And we would appreciate it if you would go on the website and take this survey. So that you can find out if you know what to do if there is a wildfire near your home, or how you can protect your home.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, does anybody else have a comment? Okay, next scheduled meetings. The town and gown will be Monday, November 17th. And Monday, December 15th at 3 p.m. The next select board meeting will be Monday, November 3rd. At 4 p.m. We will have a work session next week on Monday, the 27th at 4 p.m. And then on Monday, 17th at 4 p.m. we'll have another select board. All right. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
That's the worst.
Second, all in favor? Thank you all.
Thank you.